Frank, pretty impressed with Marcus Mariota so far. The kid looks like he has spent time under center, even though he really didn't in college. He looks poised. He looks like he could be a good one. Are you in agreement with that?
Yeah, I really am. I think all the work that he has put in this whole evaluation process before the draft, and he was put under a lot of scrutiny, obviously, with the questionable system that they ran with Oregon. I think with the Titan staff, when they had those questions to begin the evaluation, they were looking hard at him, and they put him through a lot of drills, a lot of different concepts, and he passed every test that they gave him. They gave him a little bit more, and he retained a lot of that knowledge, and really impressed the Titans coaches. I mean, they looked at the tape hard. They saw that there was more drop back, there was more pro-style concepts in this Oregon offense than people probably thought in the beginning. And, he is really, once he got drafted, he hit the ground running, and he's really been just living, breathing this Titans playbook and trying to learn this position.
Frank, it's Woody, and thank you for joining us. I'm sure Wade Phillips would like to hear that we had you on the show because you stand out in his memory, I'm sure. We won't go down there.
Best friend.
Wade was on the other side in a very famous game that Frank was very much involved in. So we'll leave it at that. But Frank, let me follow up on that. You got another young quarterback there that my partner Les keeps wanting you to trade to somebody. Is Zach
to whoever I'm rooting for?
Yeah, well,
he's good.
He likes him, and he thinks he should be given an opportunity to go to Houston or someplace else. Do you think there's any possibility, I don't, that Zach will be traded before the season starts? Or B, how is he going to handle this, and is he going to be used at all during the season?
Well, he was holding strong. Zach's a confident guy, and he's working hard even before the draft. Obviously, it was probably a disappointment for him that they took Marcus with the second pick, but he really has had a good attitude. He's pushing them. He's being very competitive. As far as that goes, he's been just really thriving in camp. Really been playing well in games and showcasing his talent. So guys like you around the country are intrigued by him. He's got some experience under his belt. He got his bell rung a little bit last year, kind of thrown into the deep end of the pool. But as far as the trade goes, I think this late in camp, I would have thought something would have happened yesterday or maybe even today. That would probably be the furthest you could go out if you want Mettenberger in your offense to learn it and for him to start. I would assume a team would want to trade for him to start. So I would think, I would see the clock is almost up as far as trading for him to get them in camp to learn that offense.
Frank, I'm going to take you way, way out of bounds here, but the belief here is that when Peyton Manning does decide to shut it down, that he's going to go to the Tennessee Titans and become the John Elway of the Titans, maybe a part owner of the team. Do you see that down the range? Is it ever talked about that Peyton will come home at some point and basically be involved with the Titans?
Well, I hope he does. I mean, he would be a great ambassador, a great guy. He would fill a great position, I think. Tennessee means a lot to him. Got a lot of ties here in Tennessee, obviously, and of course it's on record. It's been discussed when they were in the recruiting process. Peyton, Mr. Adams at the time, I guess, was throwing in some ownership percentages. I can't speak for Peyton. I know that would probably be a possibility I don't know for sure, but I would think Peyton, if he does stop playing, if he ever does stop playing, that I would assume that that would be a role that he would really like to be in, and I think would be real successful at it. And I think with the Titans and kind of with what was on the table prior, and still with the family, still with the ownership, maybe I could see maybe something happening, but that's purely speculation. But I'd like him to be over here. I think he'd be great, a great face of the franchise, and to mentor Marcus. And I'd love to be his assistant.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll pass that along, Frank. we'll make sure he gets this file. Our guest is Frank Wycheck, former Titans tight end. He does the Titans games on radio, and all of our guests are brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. You know, Frank, when you have a young quarterback, you like to have a strong offensive line and a good running game, kind of like what Teddy Bridgewater has up in Minnesota with Adrian Peterson lining up behind him. Now, Marcus Mariota, as a rookie, has Bishop Sankey as the lead running back there, and an offensive line that I think is kind of iffy. Is this all going to make it a little more difficult for Mariota to succeed this rookie season?
Yeah, well, I think any young quarterback's going to need help, especially up front. And they, haven't really settled into the group that they want to go down to Tampa in week 1. They were making some changes last week before Sunday night's game against the Rams. They came out pretty good against the Rams. Sankey ran well, had 2 runs over 15 yards. He ran for like 46 yards off 5 carries. And they put Patasi, the rookie, at right tackle. He handled Chris Long pretty well when they were in there. I know the Rams were probably fatigued coming back from California, but still a formidable front. And they looked good. They really came out and attacked the Rams and ran the ball well, and that opened a lot of things up for Marcus in the passing game. So I think it's still a work in progress. They're going to tinker around with some things maybe this week as well. It's a short week for them because they got to fly to Kansas City on Thursday for a game Friday night. And I don't think this line will be set until week 1.
Hey, Frank, last thing. Vegas has the Titans in the AFC South getting 5.5 wins this year, altogether 5.5 wins. Is that high or low in your estimation?
I think it's good. I think it's a little low. I got them about 7-9, 8-9, 8-8, 9-7, maybe.
Really?
I think with the additions on defense, that very underrated. Bringing in Arakpo. Parrish Cox had a pick 6 on Sunday night, and Searcy from Buffalo, along with some other guys. And, of course, Dick LeBeau is taking the reins on the defense. So I think their defense is going to keep them in a lot of games, and I think they'll be over that number.
I think you're going to surprise some people, too. I really do, especially after watching them the other night. I was impressed with what they were putting on the field.
And the 3rd easiest schedule in the league, too. So
yeah, that helps.
That helps.
Yeah. Frank, really appreciate your time. Good to talk to you.
No problem. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, yeah. Frank Wycheck.
Join us again sometime, I hope.
Former Pro Bowl tight end for the Titans, does the games on radio. All our guests brought to you by Papa John's.